AFC Championship in the National Football League. Rematch of last year's Gladiator teams. Dexter Reed, World of Matchup, Spencer the Wiz, Blue Milk Boys Gaming. Arrowhead Stadium is going to be absolutely lit tomorrow for the night game when Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Hayden Hurst, Zach Taylor, Joe Mixon, and that defense smashed the walls to come in and try to go back to their second Super Bowl in a row by taking on my Kansas City Chiefs. Spencer, can you look up that line for me? It's moved so many times that I'm not sure where it's at. It's moved 3 or 4 times this week, most notably because of Patrick Mahomes and that high ankle sprain. So Vegas is kind of doing a yo-yo thing. I like the Chiefs here, obviously, and I'm not saying that because I'm a homer. I'm looking at this always, folks, from a standpoint of being an NFL fan first. And this is a team that has beaten the Chiefs 3 straight times. I've gone back and I've dissected all 3 games. I went back and I looked at the A plus game that the Bengals played last week in absolutely dismantling the fraudulent Buffalo Bills. And let's take a second and just, I need to mention this, okay? Josh Allen is Daniel Jones 2.0.
Wow. You're
Jared Goff had a better season than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has never beaten Patrick Mahomes when it counts, and he's never beaten Joe Burrow when it counts. I don't want to hear another word from Buffalo Bills fans until they win something of importance, okay? Back to this game. I had to get that in because Bills fans, they puff their chest out when it's going good, but when it's not going good, they're crickets. So yeah, I said it, and I picked you guys to go to the Super Bowl and win it. So I don't want to hear another word from you guys till next season. Now, what's the spread?
Oh, 1.5 for the Chiefs is what I see right now.
Chiefs are home dogs. What have I said on this show repeatedly since you have met me? Home dogs pay dividends. Write it down. I think the Chiefs win a 1-point game here. I think it's very difficult to beat a team 4 straight times, especially a team that has Patrick Mahomes. When I have gone back and looked at the film and looked at how the Chiefs have lost these games, the Chiefs lose the same game to the Bills the same way every single time. Number 1, they turn the ball over. Number 2, Andy Reid refuses to run the football. In clutch moments, Bengals defense drops 8. Andy Reid is throwing screen passes all over the field to nobody. Run the ball. Now, it's almost a gift and the curse that we have a horrible left tackle that wants more money than he's worth because he ended up getting Patrick Mahomes injured.
Yeah.
And now they have to run the football. Now you have to run the football now. I've said this as long as I've known Spencer, and even years before that. The downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs will be Andy Reid's reluctance to run the football for 4 quarters. Every time I say it, y'all laugh. I'm called a homer. I'm not a homer. I'm not a real fan. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's a good thing that you're not on the sidelines. All this bullshit. And look, you Chiefs homers make me sick, some of y'all. I don't care if you come for me. I don't care if you watch the show. I don't give a shit. You guys are embarrassing, some of you. Seriously. And some of you don't know football. You don't. You don't. You're a Chief fan because that's what you grew up as. That's what your mom and your dad's dad. But if you watch the X's and O's and you look at the Chiefs' wins and when they play well, there's balance on offense. Patrick Mahomes is not throwing the ball 45 times for 4 touchdowns and 358 yards. Okay? There's balance. 26 runs, 26 passes. Now he's hurt. How hurt is he? Been looking at him at practice all week, Spence. He looks pretty good.
He looks fine.
He looks fine. The last time he had this high ankle sprain, he played the Titans the following week. When he came back, he threw almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think the media is overblowing this, and I think Patrick Mahomes goes crazy tomorrow. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute warrior. You folks out there, you wish. You Mahomes haters, you Chiefs haters, you guys wish you had Patrick Mahomes. Was an absolute warrior on one leg out there and won that game. Warrior. There is stop with the cap. It's Patrick Mahomes, and then there's everyone else. Joe Burrow is amazing. He's amazing. And if he wins this game, Spencer, we're looking at this as a different NFL next year. Joe Burrow will go in as the 1A, if not the 1. You don't stare Patrick Mahomes down 4 times. You just don't. You don't. And if he wins the Super Bowl, it's over. Mahomes will be number 2. So there's that. I think also the Chiefs will win because of just the level of disrespect and the shit talking that's coming out of Bengals camp.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
All week.
It's got out of control for them.
All week. It's out of control. And I know you kind of like the Bengals. I like the Bengals too. Don't get me wrong. I think they're an amazing football team. The defense doesn't get the flowers that they deserve. Guys, man, where's the humility? I mean, you act like you are Super Bowl champions. I mean, you're calling it Burrowhead? Dude, Joe Burrow's won 1 game in Arrowhead Stadium. 1 game. And so I like that Andy Reid has gotten these guys and said, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. We will play on Sunday. Humility. Dude, what comes before the fall? The pride comes before the fall. And these guys are just running their mouths. Eli Apple running their mouths.
Wow,
I think that Vegas has set the world up to all take the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow. Everyone's going to be like, the Bengals are going to destroy the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I really do, and I think all you guys out there are going to take a bath on this, and Vegas is going to laugh all the way to the bank. The whole world doesn't want to see the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl. It's the Chiefs versus the world. Everyone is tired of the Chiefs. They're starting to hate the Chiefs like they hated the Patriots. The whole world, the NFL is so mad that neutral field game did not happen. That ruined everything for everyone. And I'm here to tell you, if the Chiefs run the ball consistently, if the Chiefs rush for 100 yards tomorrow, Cincinnati Bengals are going home. They're going home. Isaiah Pacheco is an absolute stud. Did this guy fuck Andy Reid's wife? Run this guy. And now you have no choice. And so I really like the Chiefs here. It came out this week that 3 starting offensive linemen are out again for the Bengals. There's no real pass rush in the snow, no real pass rush. Von Miller was out. That's not going to be the same deal here. Chiefs are going to rush 4. They're going to drop everyone else into coverage, and they're going to play man. You can't play zone versus Jamar Chase. He's going to eat your lunch. He did it the first time you played. You can't play zone versus T. Higgins. The 50-50 balls will be in the air. They're going to have to get to Joe Burrow with 4, and that's going to be what they do. They're going to take their shots. When Joe Burrow sacked 5 times in a game, he's winless. So they're going to dial up pressure on Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be the most entertaining game you guys have watched all year. It kind of has shades of Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen last year. And so I'm taking the Chiefs here. If I'm betting I'm taking the Chiefs, I'm taking them with my heart because I want them to win. I haven't wanted the Chiefs win this bad since the Super Bowl, and the shit talking is really starting to get to me. You know what I mean? It's really starting to get to me. And I think, I'm okay with it. You want to talk smack? Fine. You know what I mean? Like, fine. You should be confident, but it's starting to become a little much. You guys are acting like you're Tom Brady and the Patriots. You've won nothing. You have no rings. You beat Buffalo, who has kind of been exposed all year. Don't get me wrong. They're a good team, but, go easy. You know what I mean? But you're coming in and you're thinking you're just going to put your feet up on our couch, and I got news for you, man. I got 80,000 people that have saying something otherwise. So that's my little diatribe on what I'm feeling right now. I got a lot of emotions in me right now. I tell you what, if the Chiefs win this game, I think they win the Super Bowl, because this game to me will be harder than winning the Super Bowl. I think because I think the best quarterback left right now, 100% healthy, is Joe Burrow. He's better than Jalen Hurts, and he's definitely better than Brock Purdy, and he's definitely got the better weapons. He is loaded. The Cincinnati Bengals' future is so bright, it's scary. And the Chiefs need to hold on for dear life, to hold on to this AFC, to hold on to that crown, and this is the game to do it. If the Chiefs lose this game, they are now the stepchild. Your thoughts on tomorrow's game?
Yeah, well, I'm less of a Bengals fan. I just like Joe Burrow. I just remember watching him in that year he won the
He's
championship.
the truth, man.
It was just the greatest season of college football I'd ever seen. And I just remember watching it, just couldn't believe what I was watching. Like literally no one would. It was like he was playing practice that entire season. It was unbelievable. Like all of his way to the championship, never once was like anything can threaten those games. He obviously had crazy stats. I think that's the greatest college football team of all time.
I agree with you.
That's a discussion for another time. If you go down that list, man, all right.
There's a couple of them that are close. The Florida teams, there's been some good ones, but yes, that LSU team was
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
He was a grown man, and everybody else was boys.
They have two Pro Bowlers in the secondary. They have two Pro Bowlers on the defensive front. Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, this is obviously huge. I mean, this is the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type of matchup for this generation. And I think we'll see it more and more. I doubt this is the last playoff game we'll see between Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, I don't like the conversation around it. Now, it seems like outside of Eli Apple, a lot of this, cockiness comes from the city, the actual city of Cincinnati and all the media around it. I think
the media is hyping it.
I don't quite see the players hyping it up like that. Like I said, Eli Apple's he's an idiot. Like he's just
Jesse Bates called it Burrowhead, bro. That's disrespect, bro.
It is.
That's a level of disrespect that wasn't necessary. The guy's won one game in Arrowhead.
No, it's a stupid name, and it's obviously like a mistake for them probably to have done that. But I don't think like the Bengals are going to go in there completely unprepared or anything like that, or like this isn't going to go over their head. I think it is going to be a good football game. Obviously, all the matchups they have are close and for good reason. But I mean, last week I just couldn't believe what Joe Burrow did in the snow.
They can't play any better than they did, which is
it was hard to see the snow like over the top. But sometimes when they go on the field level, and you could see just how much snow is coming down, and it didn't look like Joe Burrow was bothered at all. Like you would think you can't even grip the ball, and this guy he couldn't miss a pass still. It's unbelievable to me sometimes how this guy plays, and it's when I watch him play, and Patrick Mahomes too, you can say. Like for the Raiders, it's like you have Derek Carr, and it's like I watch these guys play football, and I'm like, as a Raiders fan, like whatever argument you fall on the quarterback situation, like, don't you want your quarterback to do this? You know what I mean? It's like it's not a coincidence that these talented quarterbacks are in important playoff games all the time. It's like Derek Carr is not that good. You
have to have one in order to go to a Super Bowl.
You can't.
If you don't, you're not going to go.
You can't have QB number 15 and go to the Super Bowl. It's very rare. So that's as a Raiders fan, because they never make the playoffs. This is the only thoughts I can have on these kinds of things. But I don't think the Bengals are favored in this game. It wouldn't shock me if they won. I don't think I'm going to put money on this because it's just so close. It could come down to a turnover. Just like one random turnover from either team. I could see
happening. Don't turn the ball over. They're winning this game.
Yeah, I don't see either of these quarterbacks throwing an interception. I could see one of these skill position players, like Juju Smith-Schuster or Joe Mixon fumbling the ball at the worst possible time. It just seems like one of those games, and you just never know. I think there's going to be a lot of ball hawking in this game. There's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be really chippy. Which team loses their cool and they get a good stop on 3rd and 5, but it's a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. You go 15 yards. This game is so tight that could be the difference in the game.
That'll be a difference maker.
You're at the 45-yard line. You get the stop and you do something stupid. I could see either one of these teams doing that because of the emotions. There's so, especially, you look at the Bengals defense, just so many personalities, but there's plenty of those on the Chiefs too, in my opinion. So I don't know who's going to make that pivotal mistake. You would think it's going to be the Bengals a little bit more so because of like all the conversation around the team, like they're a little more hype, and like the Chiefs, you're right, have been very quiet about it. But you'll never know.
Good week of practice. Yeah. Andy Reid's playbook is all the way open. This is it. I mean, you're going to see a full clip from Kansas City. I don't know, man. I think that Vegas has set a lot of you guys up for failure here. I know what I'm up against tomorrow. You know what I mean? I know what I'm up against. I've been watching Joe Burrow, like you said, since he was in college. The guy's unbelievable. It's hard to beat a team like Kansas City 4 straight times. And if you go back and look at the games. Go back and look at the stats. Don't take my word for it, folks. Go look yourself. The Chiefs beat themselves in every one of those games, and they lost the same game, 27-24, 28-25. I mean, it's all 3-point games where fumbles and turnovers cost them the game, or lack of running the ball cost them the game. They're not going to do that tomorrow. You watch Isaiah Pacheco get the full complement of touches. McKinnon get the full complement of touches. And look, I'm calling this right now because this cannot continue. And I'm either going to look like the biggest idiot on earth or I'm going to look like Negro Damas. But Chris Jones has got to have a postseason sack here. He has none. He's played like 13 games. Chris Jones has to be an absolute dominant force tomorrow. That offensive line is in shambles. Chris Jones has to be a man amongst boys. I don't care if you get double tomorrow. I don't give a shit. You're getting paid $20 million a year. You are the best defensive player on this team, and you have nothing in postseason to hang your hat on. And you have come out and said publicly that you don't care about accolades. You care about Super Bowl rings. Go out and show Kansas City tomorrow that you are who you say you are. Be him. Be him tomorrow. I want to see you bully that offensive line, because when you can get to Joe Burrow, just like any other great quarterback, Tom Brady, it doesn't matter, Peyton Manning, you disrupt everything. The key to beating the Bengals is watching Joe Burrow go down, and that's what you have to do to win this game. Rush 4, drop 7. I'll take my chances with that all day if we're running the ball. And let the Chiefs get up 10 points here. I'm telling you, if the Chiefs get up 10 points here, man, the fans are going to be on the field, because that's going to be a tough ask for them to come back from. They're going to be fired up in Arrowhead. You think that 142.2 decibel record's not getting broken tomorrow? Somebody better call the Guinness Book of World Records. You think that record's not getting broken tomorrow? You talking all this shit and then coming into my stadium tomorrow? Fans are going to be out of their minds. Fans are lining up for that game right now. Right now. They are going to be out of their minds tomorrow. They need to build a jail in Arrowhead tomorrow, because it is going to be insane. And anyhow the Chiefs win this game, I think they win the Super Bowl. They lose this game, we are now talking about the Cincinnati Bengals being the new kings of the AFC. And I can say that because I'm a football fan first and not a homer. Final score, Chiefs 28, Bengals 24. I've spoken. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'll go like 32-30, something crazy like that. I think this is gonna be a firepower game. I think that it's gonna be surprisingly low scoring in the 49ers game. I think it's gonna be an offensive explosion in this one. I just think there's too much energy.
Too much firepower. I mean, these guys are offensive juggernauts, and I think either one of these teams, I think the AFC is winning the Super Bowl. I do.
Yeah, I think these teams are better.
I just do. And I love the Eagles, man. I do. I love the Eagles tomorrow. My goodness, I might take out a second mortgage on them tomorrow. I don't know what it is about them tomorrow. It's just the matchup. That matchup, I think Purdy's in trouble. But I do think a lot of people are kind of really hanging on what they saw versus the Bills a bit too much. That was last week, and that was a different team. And I know it was in the snow. Chiefs are they're a different team, man. Chiefs after the quarterback.
Way more experience, too, obviously. Bills have
been here before, man. This is 5 straight games in Arrowhead for a championship game.
It's not easy to do.
It's sickening to think that there's only one ring behind that.
Yeah, I know.
But that's the Andy Reid factor, It's almost like you feel like you have to get this ring to kind of help even it. You have to. The Chiefs have to do this. This is the biggest game, and this will go down as one of the biggest games in Kansas City Chiefs football history.
Yeah, I know.
Because if they win it, they hang on a little longer, and the Chiefs will get better next year because they got money, they got cap room, and they got IR players coming back. But if they lose this game, now they go from being the hunted back to being the hunter. It's going to be a very entertaining game. Dexter Reed, World of Matchups. That's my spit. Spencer the Wiz, Blue Milk Boys Gaming. You got to pick a side, bro. Pick a side. I don't take it personal if you take the Bengals. Everyone I know is.
No, I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. I don't see them losing this game for some reason.
I don't see it either, man. I think everyone is believing Patrick Mahomes is like a walking wounded person. I think he's going to look just fine.
No,
I think Chiefs training staff. Dude, I watched this kid practice all week. He is going to be fine. His mobility will be a little limited, but you bet your ass if there's a 3rd and 4 and that field opens up, he will hop to a first down before he takes a sack. He knows his legacy is it's on the line here. You know what I mean? Like
he cares about that kind of stuff. Yeah,
dude.
Of course, obviously he does, but like
he's a warrior, man.
Yeah, like those LeBron James type figures who like their legacy to them is like everything. You know what I mean?
It's everything. Patrick Mahomes will. You see how mad he was when they pulled him out of the game last week to go get a freaking X-ray.
Yeah, like the Tom Brady breed. It's about winning. It doesn't like.
Dude,
it's like the guys. Yeah.
He doesn't know anything else. That's it. Like he's like Jesus, his family, and then the Kansas City Chiefs. That's it. That's all. I mean, the guy's got Wolverine's blood in him. I've seen these injuries before. Every time Patrick Mahomes has been injured, go look this up, guys. When he comes back from injury, look at his first game. Dude, he goes bananas. I'm talking like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. He goes ape shit. He goes nuts. I'm telling you. The NFL's got you guys fooled. All they've been doing is sucking off the Bengals all week long. Same thing with Vegas. That's why the line keeps going up and down. Oh, Mahomes looked good in practice this week. We'll flip it. We'll flip it back to the Chiefs. Oh, there's a little setback. Oh, we'll flip it back to the Bengals. You guys are being set up to have your money robbed from you. I'm telling you. I haven't felt this confident about a game in so long that I'm supposed to lose. Since the Super Bowl, everyone said the same thing, how the Niners are going to steamroll the Chiefs. And they almost did. But talent took over that game. And I think talent's going to take over this game too. Everyone's like, oh, you don't have Tyreek Hill. It doesn't matter. The best player on the field will win these kind of games. And it's still Patrick Mahomes on one leg. I don't care what anyone says. Joe Burrow, if you were that good, you would have won a Super Bowl. You're not there yet. You got to show the world that you're there now. And you have to take it from the Chiefs. You have to take it. You stand on Patrick Mahomes and you take it. And you go 4-0, dude, we bow at your feet at that point. That's a whole different everything gets flipped. You know what I mean? We put your face on a dollar bill at that point. Like you are Joe Burrow at that point. Like there's nothing to say. But you lose this game. Now we got ourselves a Manning Brady. You know what I mean? Now we got ourselves something to look at. I feel bad for Josh Allen. I kind of really do, but
yeah, he's the odd man out right now.
He's the odd man out. Him, Lamar, even Justin Herbert. It's a 2-man race.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. He's Phillip Rivers too, man.
Yeah, it's true. These guys they're all just Phillip Rivers.
Because Justin Herbert's path right now not going to remind you exactly of Phillip Rivers. Look at. Like we're gonna go remember that those LT Chargers rosters you go.
They were loaded.
That's the craziest team I've ever seen. Go back and look at this year's Chargers rosters and tell me that's not one of the craziest rosters you've ever seen.
I will not disagree with you because everything you're speaking right now is
Chargers are so funny.
It's a 2-man race. It's a 2-man race, and can King Mahome stay on top is the big question. I think the answer is yes tomorrow. You guys enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games. We'll be back to break down Super Bowl Sunday next week. I think me and Spencer will probably do our awards ceremony next week too. You know, our MVP, our most improved player, things like that. We'll figure it out during the weekend. We'll come with the heat next week. You guys enjoy the games. If you're a Kansas City Chief fan, I don't even need to tell you what you need to be doing to get ready for tomorrow. All right. I don't want to hear any nonsense from none of you guys. It's all about beating the Bengals, and that's it. Period. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
See ya.